Ladies and gentlemen, me talk to you straight Steve Harvey style, no sugarcoating, just truth served hot. When a man hurts you, it cuts deep. It's like a punch in the gut, a sting you didn't see coming. But here's the thing, how you respond. That's your power. When a man hurts you, don't just sit there and let him have the last word. Confuse him. Confuse him like this and watch how the game changes. When a man hurts you, the very first thing you need to master is how not to react the way he expects. This is where your power lies, and this single step can change everything about how the situation unfolds. Most people, when hurt, react immediately with anger, tears, or desperation, emotions that are loud and raw, but that is exactly what he's waiting for. It's like a script he's memorized. When you act out that script, you give him the satisfaction of control over your feelings and your peace. The truth is, the moment you show him exactly what he expects, the pain, the heartbreak, the meltdown, you lose. And that's why learning how to hold your ground and stay calm is not just a defense mechanism, it's a powerful weapon. Imagine this, someone throws a rock at a window. Most people would scream, yell, or retaliate. But what if instead you walk up calmly, wipe off the dust, and carry on as if nothing happened? That's what confuses the person who threw the rock. They expected chaos, but they got calm. When you react with calmness and control, you send a message that you are not shaken, you are not broken, and you are definitely not playing by their rules. It's like telling them, you don't have the power over me that you thought you did. And that can completely throw him off balance. The challenge is that staying calm when your heart is screaming in pain is not easy. Your instincts want to shout, cry, or lash out, but those instincts are exactly why most people fall into the trap of predictable reactions. Instead, you have to train yourself to pause, to breathe, and choose a different way to respond. This isn't about bottling up your feelings or pretending the pain isn't real. It's about giving yourself the space to process the hurt internally, away from his eyes. When you process your pain quietly and privately, you take back your power. You own your emotions rather than letting them own you. And that ownership is what confuses a man who hurt you because he's expecting to see you lose yourself in the moment. When you hold your composure, you also communicate strength. Strength doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be aggressive. Strength is often quiet but firm. It's the kind of strength that says, I am not defined by what you did to me. When you master this calm reaction, you flip the script on him. Instead of feeling triumphant that he hurt you, he begins to wonder if he ever really had control at all. This subtle shift in power dynamic is crucial because it changes how he perceives you. He stops seeing you as someone easy to hurt and starts seeing you as someone who won't be easily shaken. There's also a psychological edge to this calm reaction. People tend to expect emotional responses from others. It's a part of human nature. When those expectations aren't met, it creates a cognitive dissonance, a mental confusion. He tries to reconcile his actions with your unexpected reaction and often finds no easy answer. This confusion is uncomfortable for him, and in many cases, it forces him to rethink his behavior. It might not happen right away, but the seed of doubt is planted. He starts to question if hurting you really accomplished anything or if it just revealed his own weakness. Holding your composure doesn't mean you have to be cold or distant. It means you acknowledge your feelings without giving them the power to control your actions in the moment. You can feel hurt, yes, but you don't have to wear it on your sleeve. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is to simply say nothing. Silence is a powerful response. It's a refusal to engage in the drama. When he expects an argument or tears and gives silence instead, that silence speaks louder than any words ever could. it's important to remember that this calm reaction is a form of self-respect. It says you value yourself enough not to give your energy to someone who doesn't deserve it. It's a boundary that says, I will not allow your actions to dictate my worth or my peace. And that boundary is something that many people who hurt others don't know how to deal with. They thrive on chaos and reaction. But when faced with calm, they often feel powerless and confused. Mastering this response requires practice and patience. It's not going to come naturally at first, especially when the hurt is fresh. But with time, you can train yourself to catch your emotions before they spiral into a reaction he expects. You learn to breathe, to ground yourself, and to choose your response with intention rather than impulse. And the more you practice this, the stronger you become. So when a man hurts you, don't give him the reaction he's waiting for. Instead, hold your calm like armor. Let your quiet strength be the confusion that changes the entire game. Because when you refuse to be shaken, you show that your value is unbreakable and that no hurt, no matter how deep, can steal your peace. Switching up your energy when a man hurts you is one of the most powerful ways to confuse him and take back your control. Hurt naturally drags us down into a heavy, dark place filled with pain and sorrow. It's easy to fall into that pit, to carry around the weight of what happened like a burden on your shoulders. But what if, instead of letting that pain define you or dictate your energy, you chose to flip the script? What if, in the very moment when he expects to see you broken, you show up with a completely different energy, one that's vibrant, joyful, and full of life? That's the kind of confusion that disarms a man who tried to hurt you. When someone hurts you, they often want to see you diminished. They want your light to flicker or go out completely. But when you switch up your energy and bring brightness instead of darkness, it sends a message loud and clear. You are bigger than this moment, bigger than his actions, and unstoppable in your spirit. The sheer contrast between his expectations and your actual energy can leave him completely thrown off guard. He thought he was knocking you down, but instead you rise up shining. And that makes him question everything he thought he knew about you and the situation. Changing your energy doesn't mean pretending to be happy when you're not. It doesn't mean ignoring the hurt or putting on a fake smile just for show. It means choosing to focus on your strength, your worth, and the things that bring you joy despite the pain. It means not allowing his actions to steal your peace or your light. When you do that, you are taking back the power he tried to take away. This shift in energy can come in many forms. Maybe it's the way you carry yourself, standing tall, walking with confidence, smiling with genuine warmth. Maybe it's diving into activities that lift your spirit, spending time with friends who love you, pursuing hobbies that make your heart sing, or simply finding moments of peace in nature or quiet reflection. Whatever it is about intentionally choosing to fill your space with positivity and light rather than bitterness and sorrow. People who hurt others often feed off the reaction they get. When they see pain, sadness, or anger, it fuels their sense of control. But when they see you glowing with confidence and joy despite the hurt, it disrupts their game. It's like trying to throw a punch and missing completely. It leaves them stunned and unsure of what to do next. This kind of energy shift can be one of the most confusing and powerful responses because it's unexpected and shows resilience that can't be easily broken. What's even more incredible is that this shift in energy doesn't just confuse the person who hurt you. It also transforms your own experience. Instead of being trapped in a cycle of pain and reaction, you create a new narrative for yourself, one where you are the hero, not the victim. You become someone who rises above hurt, who finds strength in adversity, and who refuses to let negativity define your life. That mindset and energy become contagious. people around you start to see you in a new light, admiring your strength and grace, and sometimes even learning from your example. This doesn't mean the pain disappears overnight. Healing takes time, and sometimes switching your energy is a gradual process. But even small moments of joy, gratitude, or self-love can create ripples that grow stronger each day. The key is to keep choosing that energy, even when it's hard, because every time you do, you build a stronger foundation of confidence and peace that no one can shake. When you switch your energy from heavy to light, from hurt to joy, you take control of your story. You refuse to let his actions define your worth or your happiness. And that kind of energy is magnetic. It draws people toward you, not away. It creates a space where love, respect, and positivity can thrive, even in the aftermath of pain. So when a man hurts you, don't let your energy collapse into despair. Instead, flip it. Choose to shine brighter, laugh louder, and live fuller. Confuse him with your unexpected joy and watch how that energy changes everything for him and, more importantly, for you. Being unpredictable when a man hurts you is one of the most powerful ways to confuse him and take back control of the situation. People who hurt others often rely on predictability. They expect certain reactions, anger, tears, arguments, or silence because it makes them feel like they're in control. When you respond in exactly the way they expect, you give them the power to manipulate and hurt you again. But when you become unpredictable, you throw off their entire plan. You make them second guess themselves and wonder how to handle you because they no longer know what to expect. That uncertainty puts the power back in your hand. Unpredictability isn't about being erratic or reckless. It's about being intentional and strategic with your responses so that you don't fit into their expectations or patterns. For example, sometimes when a man hurts you, he expects you to explode with anger. But what if you respond with calmness instead? Other times, he might expect you to shut down and give him the silent treatment, but instead you might choose to engage in light, pleasant conversation or simply walk away without a word. Sometimes you might even surprise him by showing kindness or warmth when he least expects it. This keeps him off balance because he can't figure out your next move. And when someone can't predict your behavior, they lose control over the situation. Being unpredictable also means you refuse to be a hostage to his mood or his actions. You are the one who decides how and when to respond, and that decision is yours alone. You don't have to react immediately or in the heat of the moment. You can pause, reflect, and choose a response that best serves your peace and your dignity. Sometimes that might mean saying nothing at all. Sometimes it might mean addressing the issue directly, but with a tone and attitude that catch him off guard. This unpredictability empowers you because it puts you back in charge of the narrative. You become the author of your own story, not a character in his drama. Another way unpredictability confuses him is by disrupting the emotional cycle he expects to trap you in. When someone hurts you, they often want you stuck in a loop of pain, anger, and reaction, a cycle that feeds their sense of control. But if you switch up your responses, sometimes quiet, sometimes assertive, sometimes distant, sometimes engaging, you break that cycle. You refuse to be predictable, and that refusal is disarming. It makes him question whether his actions have the intended effect or if you've moved beyond his reach. That doubt can shake his confidence and force him to rethink how he treats you, if at all. Unpredictability also protects you from emotional exhaustion. When you know exactly how you're going to respond to pain, you can get trapped in a pattern that drains your energy and your spirit. But when you introduce unpredictability, you create space for creativity and self-care in how you handle hurt. You can protect your boundaries by deciding when to engage and when to withdraw. You can preserve your peace by not always playing by the same emotional rules. This flexibility is essential for healing and growth because it prevents you from being stuck in harmful patterns. On a deeper level, unpredictability teaches the man who hurt you that you are complex, multifaceted, and not easy to manipulate. You are not a predictable puzzle he can solve or a script he can rewrite. You are a whole person with a wide range of emotions and responses that can't be boxed in or controlled. This complexity demands respect because it makes clear that hurting you isn't as simple as he thought. It shows that you have strength and boundaries that won't be easily crossed. Being unpredictable can also mean refusing to fit into his narrative about you. Sometimes, after hurting someone, people try to label the other person as too sensitive, overreacting, or unreasonable. When you respond unpredictably, you reject those labels. You don't allow him to define you or your feelings in a way that diminishes you. You show that your reactions are your own, chosen by you, not dictated by his actions or opinions. That kind of self-possession is powerful and confusing to someone who expected to control your story. Of course, being unpredictable requires self-awareness and emotional intelligence. It's not about playing mind games or being manipulative. It's about protecting yourself and asserting your worth in ways that don't feed the cycle of hurt and control. It means understanding your emotions deeply enough to choose responses that preserve your dignity and promote your healing. It means knowing when to engage, when to withdraw, and when to surprise. Ultimately, unpredictability is a form of resilience. It's a way of saying, I am not broken. I am not predictable. I am not your victim. It turns the tables on the person who hurt you and sends a clear message that you are in charge of your life and your emotions. When you embrace unpredictability, you reclaim your power and make it clear that hurting you was a mistake because you are not someone who can be easily controlled or hurt again. Staying mysterious when a man hurts you is a powerful way to confuse him and protect your peace. Mystery holds an undeniable power because it keeps people guessing. When someone knows everything about you, the way you think, the way you feel, what you're planning, it's easy for them to predict your reactions and manipulate you. But when you guard your thoughts and emotions carefully, revealing only what you want to reveal, you create an aura of mystery that can be unsettling to someone who hurt you. Mystery becomes a shield, a way to protect yourself from further pain and to regain control of the situation. Being mysterious doesn't mean shutting people out completely or becoming cold and distant. It means choosing what to share and what to keep private. When a man hurts you, it's natural to want to explain yourself, to justify your feelings, or to seek closure by telling him exactly how you feel. But sometimes, giving away too much too soon can leave you vulnerable. Instead, keeping parts of your inner world to yourself makes it harder for him to understand or predict your next move. It creates a gap, a space where he's left wondering what's really going on inside her. That uncertainty can be confusing and disarming. Mystery also invites respect because it signals that you value yourself and your boundaries. When you withhold some of your thoughts and feelings, you communicate that you are not an open book to be read at someone else's convenience. You show that you are in control of your own narrative and that you won't be rushed or pressured into revealing your pain or your plans. This creates a distance that can protect you from further harm and give you time to heal on your own terms. One of the most challenging parts of staying mysterious is resisting the urge to fill the silence with explanations or justifications. After being hurt, it's tempting to want to clear the air or to convince him that he made a mistake. But every time you explain yourself, you risk opening the door for more pain or manipulation. Instead, when you stay quiet or offer only measured, thoughtful responses, you keep the power in your hand. You make him work harder to understand you. And often, That effort leads to respect because it's clear you won't be easily figured out or controlled. Mystery also works by creating emotional distance without hostility. You don't have to be cold or mean to be mysterious. You can be warm and kind while still keeping certain things to yourself. This balance makes it hard for him to label you or predict your behavior. He can't put you in a box because you don't give him enough information to do so. This unpredictability wrapped in mystery keeps him guessing and off balance. Another reason mystery is so effective is that it protects your energy. When you share everything, you expend emotional energy constantly. You might feel drained by trying to process your hurt while also explaining it to someone who may not truly care or understand. By keeping some things to yourself, you conserve your energy for yourself, your healing, your growth, and your peace. This energy preservation is vital because it helps you rebuild from the hurt instead of being worn down by it. Mysteriousness also allows